Yo guys, what is going on? Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy KK, and welcome back to another Cold War video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 guns in Cold War. It's totally okay if you guys disagree with this list, but I think most people that have played the game a decent amount and I've played around with a lot of the guns, if not all of them, you're likely to agree with you're likely to agree with many you're likely you're likely to agree with many of the guns on this list. For my list, I picked the guns that I enjoyed the most and got the most kills with. For my list, I picked for my list for my list for my list I picked for my list for my list I for my li- for my list I picked the gun for my list I picked the guns that I enjoyed. For my list I for my list I enjoy For my list, I picked the guns I enjoyed using the most and got the most kills with. So, at number 5, I have the Type 63. This is a tactical rifle and a semi-auto. I enjoy using this weapon because it was mostly a 2 to 3 shot kill. The Type 63 also has great handling and also a really the Type 63 The Type 63 also has great handling and is also really accurate with good bullet velocity. So yeah, so yeah, when I so yeah, when I So yeah, when I want to play back on the objective and streak up, I always count on the Type 63. I always count on the Type 63. So yeah, when I want to play back and streak up. So yeah, when I want to play the So yeah, when I put So yeah, when I So yeah, when I want to play back on the objective and streak up, I can always count on the Type 63. 63. So yeah, when I want to play back on the objective and streak up, I can always type. So yeah, when I want to play back on the objective and streak up, I can always type. So yeah, when I want to play back on the objective and streak up, I can always count on the Type 63. For the attachments, I run the KB. For the attachments, I run the KGB Eliminator and the Spet. For the attachments, I run the KBG Eliminator and the Spetsnaz Grip. This is gonna allow our Type 63 to have next to no recoil. This is gonna allow this is gonna allow our Type 63. This is gonna allow our Type 63 to have very good recoil. This is gonna allow our Type 63 to have next to no recoil. And we'll be able to pick off our enemies from far away or take them out up close. Next, I am using the titanium barrel for extra fire rate. The other barrels that offer 9% damage buffs don't give enough The other barrels that offer 9% buffs don't give the ability to two-shot. The other barrels that offer 9% buffs don't give the gun. The other barrels that offer 9% The other barrels that offer 9% damage buffs don't give the gun the ability to two-shot in the body, so you're just better off with the extra fire rate. For my last two attachments, I am using the Serpent Wrap and the Hawksmoor Reticle for extra accuracy and extra speed. But next up on my list at number 4, we got the Krig. The Krig has excellent range. Along with a great recoil pattern. With the 1.4 headshot multiplier, the Krig can take on snipers at a range while having enough time. With the 1.4 headshot multiplier, the Krig can take on snipers at a range while having the time to kill potential to compete with the SMG up close. Out of all the assault rifles, I enjoyed the Krig the most. I like to run the reflex sight on the I like to run the Microflex LED. I like to run the Microflex LED reticle on this gun along with the suppressor so I can hit my shots accurately without being detected on the map. And then I use the Ranger Barrel to counter the bullet velocity. And then I use the Ranger Barrel to counter the bullet velocity loss. And then I use the Ranger Barrel to counter the bullet velocity that I lose from my suppressor. And then I use the Ranger Barrel to counter the bullet velocity that I lose from the suppressor. For my next two attachments, I use the Jungle Style Meg along with the Airborne Elastic Wrap for extra speed. As for the number 3 spot on my list, this is the MP5. With this SMG, we have a great time to kill potential with a forgiving fire rate. With this SMG, we have a great time to kill potential and the forgiving fire rate. And on top of that, the MP5 has great handling and is really easy to control. And on top of that, the MP5 has great handling and really easy. And on top of that, the MP5 has great handling and really easy recoil to control. This just makes it a really good and really versatile SMG that pretty much anyone could pick up and do well with. Now, one problem with the MP5 is bullet velocity. If you don't use the right attachments with If you don't use the right attachments when a gun has a naturally low bullet velocity, then it will feel like you're playing on a bad connection. And your hit detection will just suck because your bullet velocity is so low. So for my first attachment, I am using the reinforced heavy barrel. This barrel will give you great bullet velocity. This barrel will give you great bullet velocity. This barrel will give you great bullet velocity along with better range without losing any major stats. Then I'm using the agency suppressor and the field agent grip. These attachments will make your gun a These attachments will make your gun a laser while keeping you off the late. These attachments will make your gun a laser while keeping you off the radar. Next, we are using the SAS May clamp and the airborne elastic wrap, so we can have extra speed and have the ability to drop shot if we need to. Now for the second gun on my list, we got the Stoner 63. This was definitely one of my favorite guns to use while grinding for DM Ultra. The gun has an excellent fire rate with a default 75 round. The gun has an excellent fire rate with a default 70 round capacity. The Stoner has naturally good recoil control with a great iron sight, so you don't need to waste time. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil to control. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil to control. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil to control with a great iron sight, so you don't need to worry. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil control with a great. The Stoner has a naturally good recoil control with a great iron sight, so you don't need to waste attachments on a sight. So for my first two attachments, I am running a suppressor and a task force barrel, so I can maintain a great range and bullet velocity while staying off the minimap. Next, I am using the Raider pad and the airborne elastic wrap and the Vandal speed loader, so I can make up for the loss in movement from the heavy barrel. Now, for the number one spot on my list, I have the AUG. The AUG has the most consistent one burst out of all the burst rifles, and that is really key out of these burst rifles. And that's really the key to these burst rifles, is their ability to one burst in a game with full auto.